Just adjusting the lighting there so you can see me. Welcome, g'day, I'm Keeonra and welcome to Keeonra Music. And I already see that Mark Brill is already in the chat. Hello, my friend. Welcome to another live stream. Yes, I believe everything is working as it should. Excellent. If not, please let me know in the chat. Here we go. Look, it's going to be kept short, sharp and sweet, shiny, something today, because I spent an hour in a dentist chair yesterday. I'm still feeling a little bit sore from a dentist and their assistant crawling around my mouth for an hour, so I'm still like, and I did only have mashed banana and yogurt for dinner last night, so not feeling 100% today. More painkillers are possibly needed, but anyway, we'll get there. So I thought we'd just have another listen of the track, see if anything sticks out, and do a quick mix perhaps, render out the drums I think is what my next step is. So we'll just have a bit of a listen first. But if you don't know anything about Songtember, there's a clicky bit down below. Pete John's Studio Live today, his webpage has all the information on it about writing, recording and releasing a song in the month of September. That's why it's called Songtember. So please join me over here as I press the magic button. Here we go. And hopefully this will come through as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to simply just listen to it. I haven't recorded vocals only because I can't sing at the moment. I was hoping to do it yesterday morning before I went to the dentist, but no, it didn't happen. Today it would just hurt too much. Everything's been all stretched out of whack. So maybe tomorrow I might be able to record vocals. And my chesty cough is, touch wood, almost gone. Almost gone. So I'll be able to sing a little bit better. So I'm hoping to do that because I'd like to be able to, in the next few live streams, get this done and dusted. And get on with the video. I've shot some video for a video. It'll be nice to get it all done. I'm not sure. There might be lots of B-roll that I sort of get from free websites and that sort of thing, but we'll see how we go. Having some glass shards removed from your foot. That's sole of your foot. That's nasty, Mark. Oh, I hope a speedy recovery for that. See, I can stop talking. Well, my husband says that I can't. My brother too. Actually, my kids. Marbles, underwater. But anyway, that will help. But, you know, when something's foot related, it's hard to not walk. You kind of got to do that on a daily basis. Otherwise it becomes messy for starters. All right, on to the song. I digress. Let's press play and have a listen. Let's have a listen. Because I haven't listened to this for a few days. Take it from me. Speedy recovery, my friend. Feels through well. Nice. Thank you for the feedback. Appreciate that. Here comes the fun bit. My favourite part of the song. I'm happy with that. It's nice to leave your creativity things, be it music or painting or drawing art, whatever it might be, just for a few days and then come back to it with fresh eyes, fresh ears. That's quite pleasant to listen to. I don't mind that. I actually got it out of my head for a couple of days. It had infested a part of my brain there for quite some time. It was going round and round, round circles. But that's not bad. I can't hear anything that's sticking out that's not quite right other than the strings. Now, the reason why I say that is because all of the strings are, I believe, and let's listen to them, they're only the long ones, here they are a bit behind the beat. So most string libraries have a natural delay. So if you watch a conductor with an orchestra, their hands would go up for the beat before the bar, and then come down on the downbeat, and that's when a violinist or a string player would naturally draw their bow down as they're coming down, because the sound doesn't really start till they've started bowing the instrument. So if we want the sound to start right there, then the instrument, the sound actually needs to start a little bit before it. We don't want to, we can, it's an option because we're not producing sheet music, but the better practice is to not change the MIDI, because if you were to produce the actual sheet music of this song, you'd want this beat to start on the bar. So what we can do is we can change the timing or the delay from when it starts, which is really cool in Cubase. I assume most other DAWs would have something similar. So if we listen to this, when does the sound actually start? Just of the, what are we listening to? This is the violins, first violins. Right, so if you listen to it and you watch here, it comes in just after. It's like a split second, because they're just starting to bow, which is good and natural, but wrong. So if you were seeing it live, the conductor would put their hands up, start going down. That's when the violinist would start, and they would be, the sound that you hear from here would be just after it starts, is what would be on the actual downbeat. So every string library is sampled differently and therefore is different timing. So we want the delay to be minus 0.5 of a millisecond. It's probably more actually. Say 1 millisecond. So let's go back and have another listen. Where is it? That's getting better. That's getting better. Where is it? I don't think I can do it on this screen, can I? No. So I have to go back to the other one. So let's do it here of minor, increase or decrease it. So it starts 1.5 milliseconds. Let's have a listen to that. Where'd it go? There it is. And that sounds a little bit better and a little bit more natural, where you're expecting the sound. I think if I went too far, you'd notice it too much and would almost come in early. So let's go 3 milliseconds and try that again. Although that's not bad. To my ears, that's not too bad. That could work. Let's try all of the violins now of having a delay of -3, and you can just enter the number here in the delay, -3 milliseconds, that is, not seconds, milliseconds. So it comes in early by -3. So if we were going to go, if we were going to put it positive, it would make it further along to the right. Which way is my hand going? That's all opposites here. So if we're going to the right, it would be positive. We want it to come in a little bit earlier than the actual MIDI is showing, so we want it to be a negative number, if that makes sense. So if we listen to all of the strings together, it should come in at the same time. Where have they all gone? Oh, they're there. So come in here. So it just comes in a little bit quicker. Let's go with -3 because the telltale part of the song was, I think, the bridge and down the end here. Yeah, so yeah, that's right. So you want to, Mark, you want to reduce the starting delay, so you want it to be negative. So it starts a little bit earlier than all the other instruments. But it's not actually. So it's one of those weird things. Let's listen in context to the bridge, and I'll put the metronome on. You can't hear the metronome, unfortunately. I still don't know how to set that up. But anyway, I can hear the metronome, so we'll see if we can listen to see if the violins are coming in too early now with -3 milliseconds. I think that's good actually. Let's listen to the last bit. It could actually be even a little bit more, I think. That's half a second, so that's 5 -5 milliseconds. Let's try that. Some string libraries are, as I say, it depends how they were recorded, what type of room they're recorded in to allow for reverb. It's a whole range of things, and how, is it more of a pizzicato is basically on the beat because it's very much a quick attack. A long bow is a slow attack, so it takes a while for that sound to come in. So we've changed it to -5 milliseconds. Let's listen and see if that works. I think that's a bit better. Yeah, I think that's got it. Yeah, I think so. Let's check the beginning again. Yeah, that's much better. So there you go. That's fixed up that bit. That's stuck out to me. Yeah, good. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate the feedback. Sounds right in the pocket. It does. It does. That sounds a lot better. So, yeah, there's no definitive number, and it depends on the project, depends on the sound. This is more upbeat and a little bit faster. Depends on the tempo. Depends on a range of things. So there's no definitive answer as far as, what should this string library be? Or you got to play around with it and see what works and what sounds right. But just know that is particularly a particular thing with string libraries. When it's a string sound on the synthesizer, that's totally different. That's usually right on the mark. There's no real delay. So it's when real stringed instruments have been sampled and they're trying to replicate the actual sound of a stringed instrument, which is correct, but in the context of this type of pop rock sort of song, we want them to come in a bit earlier, and string players would know that. So the conductor would know that, the string player would know that. If this was played live, the string players would actually adjust for that on stage themselves. They're pretty clever like that. So yeah, and it's cool to watch. It's cool to watch how they do that and adjust for that, in rehearsals and in concerts and stuff. So it's really cool. So glad that was a part of my life. I don't know if I'll ever get back to that, but it was very cool that I was part of that. Right. Oh, my jaw. Okay. As I said, this will be a short session. How's the drums? I think the drums are okay. I think the drums sound all right, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it and do as I say, not as I do. I haven't been saving this as versions at all. So let's file save now, and then let's do file save as, and let's do this just as _101 and save it. Now we'll do a save as version 2, and this is what we're going to save as for the rest of the time. Maybe. We'll see how we go. But I had forgotten completely how to get and I've forgotten again. Yeah. How to do that, but that's okay. But Addictive Drums, I've got the drum kit here, which is sounding really, really nice, the Fairfax. So I'm happy with this. I love how it lights up. It's so cool. Very cool. But it's sounding good. I did get a couple of beats and then I've adjusted it accordingly. But what I want to do now is make those, and you can actually put these out to separate out to your mixer this way through this, but I think I'm about to try it. Let's see if it works. If I render this out, it will actually render each percussive instrument or part of that kit to separate audio tracks, and therefore it will have separate buses for the mix, because at the moment Addictive Drums only has the one. So if we listen to that, all the drums are on one bus, so I can't change it for to do any EQ on the bass drum or the hi-hats or whatever, and I want to be able to EQ things separately, and that's the important part of the the first mix of dotting I's, crossing T's, getting it ready for the first mix to get everything a little bit more even and work out what's what where, and see how that all goes. I also will add, I'll probably do it in between streams. So I'll stream again probably Thursday, and I'll see how I go between now and then of adding in all my isotope plugins, because I do let the AI sort of thing, kind of, it's not AI, it's machine learning, which is kind of AI but not, and I put one on each bus and it listens to each instrument and it says, oh, you want this to sound like a bass drum? Well, 9,999 samples of bass drums EQs usually sound something like this. We'll put this one on it, and does it sound okay? And then you can adjust it accordingly. Yes. Well, we're going to experiment, my friend. Yes, each door is slightly differently in how it goes, Mark. So yes, I appreciate your assistance there, but I'm just going to wing it and see what happens. Needless to say, I did some research this morning, i.e. watch other people's YouTube videos on how to do this, and it did work for that particular instrument. Haven't done it with addictive drums, but I do know another way of doing it. So there's a couple of ways of doing it, so we'll see what happens. All right, so at the moment it's on one bus. We don't want that. We want it separated out because it just makes more sense and make things a little bit easier to mix. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this, and also what I could do is I can actually mix on here if I wanted to and keep it as one instrument. That is an option as well. So you can see it all, see how it's got different mixes here? So I could actually do it this way if I wanted to, but I prefer not to. It's just, yeah. Yes, YouTube University. I like YouTube University. It's an amazing thing. I think it's an amazing thing for me because I'm old. I remember when life before the internet. I tell my kids that it's like there was a day when there was no internet. Yes. Then they joke about, running water and electricity. But anyway, we won't go there. Okie dokie, let's do this. We've saved it. We've saved it as a version 2. Let's see what happens when we press buttons. We're going to press buttons. Okay, so we want to freeze, disable, credited, track control, show most, and where's it gone? Okay. MIDI. Bounce MIDI is what I want. Render in place. Why is it not showing me how to render? There's a way. Tracks, create tracks from lanes. No. Freeze. Unfreeze. No, we don't want to freeze. Select all tracks. Add track. Don't want to add track. Okay. Real-time processing. I want to bounce selection. Alt-num0. Maybe it's because this hasn't been, it's not one thing. Maybe it needs to be glued first. Not erased, glued together as one track. There we go. Maybe that'll work now. No, it's not there. Audio. Bounce selection. Dissolve advanced. I may have to look at merge MIDI and loop. Bounce MIDI. Render in place. Edit. One will have to Google this. Always the way. Edit, render in place, render settings. Okay. Maybe I have to have that selected. Edit. There it goes. Now it comes up. Ha. Right, so I have to have, rather than the track selected, I have to actually have the MIDI selected there. Tricky, yes. And then right click doesn't work. So I think you have to do not right click. Control right click. There we go. Because with Cubase, right click brings up the mouse pointer selection tool. So you change what the object selection tool does. So it's control and right click and then render in place, and we want render settings. It's all coming back to me now. See, it's what happens when you don't do this for almost a year. We want dry transfer channel settings, I think, pretty sure. Tail size we want to be about 5 seconds. So if there's any reverb within the instrument, within the virtual instrument, as you saw, there's all sorts of settings in there. So we want at least 5 seconds. So it has a bit of a tail on it. We don't want to use custom name. We want to leave the name blank. So hopefully the tracks will automatically name according to the actual instrument. So it'll give hi-hats and that sort of thing. Fingers crossed. Mute source events. So when we do that, what that'll do is it'll just mute this track and actually mute this MIDI so you don't get it coming through twice, if that makes sense, because we're going to use the audio files. If we hit render now, cross your everythings and see if it works. If it doesn't, Control Z for the win, or Control Z. We say Control Z. Who else says Control Z? UK? I think it's just Americans that say Control Z. Not sure. Control Z for the win. Render. It's doing its magic stuff. It's thinking about it lots. It's oh, it's done. No, that was wrong. So all it's done is it has created one audio. Not what we wanted. Control Z for the win. Okay, so we will have to go to plan A. Plan B. So plan B is we open up the right window and we go to VSTI. See, I think this is what I've done. Control Z in Canada. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Now, if we go to VST up here and we go down to Addictive Drums 2, and I think it's input output options, activate outputs, and there it is there. So what we can do is all the outputs are there. So I think what we need to do from memory is we have to go to the instrument and we have to make these match up. So if we hit that, separate out pre-fader. And if we do that for all of them, I think that's how it works. I'm not sure, but we're about to find out. I think. And I think we need to do these as well. So there's a room and we're about to find out. So that's all of them. And now I think if we go in here, activate outputs, it should be there. Let's find out. No. Oh, now if I go to Shift, Control, right click, render in place, render settings, I think that would work. No, it's coming up with one again. Oh, that's sad. And it's silent. I don't think there's anything there. That's too funny. That's too funny. Select all inputs. I don't know. I don't know now. I don't know. Activate outputs. See, I used to be able to click these. I don't know what's going on. Because that's not giving me the outputs. I may have to go back to University of YouTube and try and work this out. Because there is a way to do it and I cannot remember. And I thought it was something to do with the instrument. What does that button do? Have I lost the drums completely now? I have. Input options. Select all inputs. Oh, okay. I don't know what I've done. Let's Control Z a lot. What have I done? No. Oh, okay. Will I have to go back to my previous save? I think I might. I haven't saved it in a while. Let's. So this is what happens. Don't save. Yeah. Worst case scenario, but I think I did the strings before I did that bit, didn't I? We're going to find out. I need to drink my coffee. I can't work out how to get this to work. A frustrating thing is that I used to do this in Cakewalk and it wasn't too difficult. And it's not too difficult in Cubase, except there's not... I think what I'll need to do is a short video using Addictive Drums in Cubase on how to do it. And then when I get stuck like this, I can watch my own 5-minute video. I think that's the way to do it. Yeah, thanks Mark for paying attention, but I'm not. Yes, hopefully I'm currently, it's opening version 2. So I think you're right, I did do the strings before I saved it as version 2. The only downside to this is that Cubase, and one of the drawbacks, Cubase is an awesome program. I really like Cubase. I was going to say love it, but no. There are things I don't like about it, but there are so many things I do like about Cubase. But you really do need to go make a coffee when you're opening a file. It takes a long, long time. And here's one I prepared earlier. And it's almost cold, so, you know. Room temperature coffee is not great. Hot coffee, good. Iced coffee, great. Ugh, just cool coffee is not cool. I was hoping to do a pre-mix. I don't think I'll actually be doing that today. I'm not sure. We might have a quick look at it without separating the drums. And I think I actually might, in due course, I've said this before, but I'll actually do it this time, is make a video on how to get Addictive Drums out onto separate buses, because there is a way of doing it and I just can't remember how. I think I've got a lot of music production, YouTube university type, ahead of me, but also I do have a lot of online courses. I don't know whether anyone, Mark, you're here, but anyone else that might be watching the replay or listening in, if you've done any online courses for your particular door or just watch YouTube videos, how beneficial are they? Are they good? Do you learn lots? Does it make things better for you? I like all the shortcuts and that sort of thing, the quick keyboard shortcuts, and makes my workflow a little bit quicker. Anyway, finally, we have Cubase up again. So let's have a look to see if my strings was there. Yep, -5, we're good. So that was all there. Addictive drums, it's still all separated into the little MIDI. I'm going to look that up and play with that later. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to go to the mix console and just do a really quick mix as we are. Now there's a way of doing this. There we go. There's a way of making these, whoops, not wider, narrower. No, that's wider, isn't it? Narrower to fit them all on the screen. There we go. There we go. So we can fit them all in. Let's do from the start, let's see if we can do a little bit of a quick mix and get them a bit better sounding. We'll just do one quick thing. Search for addictive drum multi-out in Cubase. It should give you the recipe. Yeah. I'll do that later. I'll have a play with it later, and hopefully I'll have an answer by the next live stream. Whether I do it in the next live stream or whether I actually do a separate video or have it done by next live stream. Something. I'll have to look at it. I was going to look at it before this morning, but I woke up with a headache because I'm still a bit... So, whoops. I pressed the button. Buttons! Alright. Let's do a quick mix. And Mark, if you're listening, let me know, because I am partially deaf. Let me know if anything sticks out and you go, wow, that's a bit loud. I'm going to mute the piano because the piano is just there as a guiding melody track for when I actually record my vocals. So that's going to be out of the actual mix. So there's no instrument doing the melody. That'll be me, hopefully, singing. Let's hear it. I'll turn the metronome off for me. That sounds all good, actually. That's not too far off the mark. I have done a little bit of adjusting as I've been going, and I think that sounds okay. Let's go up to the bridge. You know what? It sounds okay to me. It sounds okay. I think we've got a fairly half decent mix, at least for me to record to as far as vocals, so nothing's really standing out. The only thing that is standing out, now that I remember how to do render in place, is this bit here. I want to fix this. I'm going to save that as version 2 just because we're up to version 2. Good on me, yay. Finally, 17th of September, and I'm finally using versioning for my saves. Durr. The boom at the start, let's listen to that. It finishes fairly quickly. I want to tail that off a little bit more, and I'm going to render it and fade it out. That's why I wasn't doing that, because it sounds a bit wonky towards the end. The actual instrument changes the sound of it. Don't know if you could hear that. Yeah, so I think I'm such a perfectionist, it's awful. So if I fade that, that should work. Got a bit of an air on a G string through the bridge. Sounds pretty good for a basic mix. Yeah, thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. That's really good. Look, if you get a chance with your mixes, get someone else to listen to it and see what they reckon, give you some feedback. Often not family and friends who go, cool, that sounds great. And it's like, can I just, I need someone to be able to say, oh, the kick sounds a bit, and the hi-hats are poking through and the bass is a little bit, So if there's, and this is a great community that we're in, and, if there's someone else that you can sort of reach out to and say, hey, can you just listen to this for me? Spend a few minutes. It's always helpful. Okay. All right, so I thought my cough had gone. Not quite, apparently. So Control right click, and we want to render in place. Go to render settings, just double check that that's all okay. And then we want a long tail on this because we want to have a look at this, and we want to actually fade it like that. And let's listen to just that. Bit more of the fadey. No, even more. I put a long tail on it, didn't I? That should work. No, I might actually shorten that a little bit and bring that back. Oops. Bring that back first and shorten it. That should be better. Let's listen to that. It's still ending abruptly, isn't it? Now I've done too much. I want it about there, I think. That's almost got it. That's almost got it. Take the snap off, I think, and just bring it up a little bit more. That's what I wanted. There we go. Took a while, but we got there. Mark has indicated the first sparkle guitar track might be a bit tad loud compared to the rest. By about 2 to 3 dB, but basic. Look, appreciate that. Let's have a quick look at that. First sparkle. This one here. So let's have a listen. Yep. Boom! Ashley is in the house. Welcome, Ashley, my friend. Let's listen to this bit. Taking it down too, but I reckon it was about there. Only needs a little bit. About there. How's that sounding? And then again after. Then I broke it. Let's go. Yeah, let's just go second to last chorus. There we go. Sounds more balanced. Excellent, Mark. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that. Even though, you know, that might change, now I've got an idea of what the sound should be. And what I possibly might do is actually mix that out. Now I've forgotten how to do this. Is it Shift, Control F? No, not Control F. Shift F. Shift F brings everything back into one screen view. Excellent. Saving version 2. We'll have to do the drums next time. I've got to try and work out how to do the drums. I faded that boom out, which was annoying me, so I'm happy with that now. And what you can do too is right click on this and you can hide the selected track so you don't actually see it. And this will actually, because at the moment I think we'll have, yeah, so you've got 2 tracks there in the mix. You can't see it. I'll get my head out of the way. I'll press the magic button, it's easier. You've got so bad. You've got 2 tracks here, so if I actually go down to here and on the MIDI, which we're not using anymore, right click on that and remove selected tracks. Done. So we've only got the audio there. So when that plays, we don't have the extra one there. Ah, hello. I'm back. So, yeah, very, very cool with that. That's really good. But yeah, I might actually mix that out so I've got a bit of a reference to what it sounds like in order to assist me for the final mix, if that makes sense. But it will change slightly depending on where the vocals sit, because if you look at the way the mix is sitting at the moment, I think there's a bit of a balance between the lower end bass and the higher pitch, you know, violin's one, and the triangle, for example, and the hi-hats are all high-pitched sounds. So my vocals will sit in sort of more of the top end, mid to top end. So I've got to make sure that that sits in there, and they'll be ducking and, oh yeah, I've forgotten how to do all of that. I've got to relearn how to do all of that. Okay, this is going to be an interesting week or two. How long have we got? About 2 weeks left, something like that, bit less. Yeah, a bit less. Oh my goodness, and try and do a video as well. We can make it happen. This happens every Songtember for everyone, I think. But hey, I've got the best part of it all done now, so you know it's getting there. The magic disappearing, Keeonra. Thank you. Yes. Okay. I think that's gonna be all for today's show because my jaw is still hurting a little bit. Yeah, and look, fingers crossed I will have some vocals, because I can't really do too much more until I get the vocals in there, and I've forgotten how to actually record the vocals into the DAW as well. So I've got to basically relearn everything from scratch, but really quickly, because I'm not learning everything from scratch, because when I first started doing all this, it took me months and months and months to understand what it all meant and what to do and how to do things. But because I've done it before, it shouldn't be too bad. Oh, good on you, Mark. So you didn't touch your song in a week, but you've got all the arrangement in your head, so it should go well. Yeah, I think that's the tough part. I mean, once you've got it sorted in your own mind of what it should sound like, and you've had practice in getting it into a DAW, and you've got an idea of what instruments you want and the tempo, and if you're going to have lyrics with it, what those lyrics are and how you want the song to flow, I think that's the hardest part of it all anyway. And once you get started, and if you get into the flow of it, you know, it just sort of happens. You know, if someone was said to me, you know, how do you write a song? It's like, I just start and it happens. You know, sometimes I start with lyrics, sometimes I start with chords, sometimes I start with a melody, sometimes I start with the beat and the drums, sometimes I start with the bass line. Sometimes it starts with the boom and the cowbell. So yeah, and sometimes it just completely changes. So I mean, this all started with the pipe organ, and I was thinking of having a choir in there. Not happening now. So, you know, yeah, you've almost finished yours, Ashley. Well done. Well done. You churn out a lot of songs, my friend. You do very, very well in that regard. So well done you. I think, you know, whatever you choose to do, I think just getting it done is the important part. So that's my goal for the next few live streams, is to get vocals done, ready for the next live stream, whenever that might be. Hopefully Thursday. We'll see what happens. And after that, it's going to be a case of tweaking and fixing things and side chaining. That's it, side chaining. I've got to relearn how to do all that. So, but I'll keep you up to date, and might do short live streams of here we are, here's my updated version again thus far, sort of thing. And then I might bring you in for a bit of live streaming, maybe if my computer handles it okay, of editing the video, perhaps, if you're interested in seeing that. I will be using, at this point in time, because I do know how to use the software, Adobe Premiere Pro. It'll be for the last time, because I'll be switching to DaVinci Resolve soon, because it's not me, it's you. Our relationship with Adobe products is just anyway, we won't go there, but we kind of did. So I might do a bit of live streaming on my video editing and how I do that, because I don't bring the video into here to do, because that's a totally different thing. But that is something a reason why I got Cubase, in order to do music to video in this respect. But I'll be rendering the music out and then putting it into Premiere Pro and hopefully creating a video. Fingers crossed. I've got to shoot the video first, so I'm doing a lot of it myself. It's going to be me doing stuff with things, so I've got to get on with that. Actually, that reminds me, yes. So yes, if you know the I'll save this before I do anything else. If you know the lyrics to the song, and I'll bring them over here again. My sort of idea for shooting the video is me in bed. Don't know whether people actually want to watch that. Watching videos all day. Chores and housework. I may video myself doing housework or something, vacuuming or whatever. Where is the vacuum cleaner? No, I do know where the vacuum cleaner is. It's okay. And then going for a walk in one of my favourite parks nearby, because that's what I like to do when I'm not procrastinating and doing stuff. Games to play, record some video games. So that's what I might have to do for the rest of the day, is play computer games, so I can I've got some video there to do. Hanging clothes out, doing some schoolwork. I'm actually back at university, but anyway, that's a discussion for another day, what I'm doing there. But anyway, and what else? Travelling in open space. I do actually have some footage there I can use. And yeah, me of doing this song. And then other stuff of going out and doing things. So I do have a fair bit of footage already done, but I want to storyboard that a little bit more and work out what I've got yet to shoot. So that might be part of Thursday's stream. I might share a little bit of that and how I've done that. I use Notion as the program for all of this. So it's a brilliant program. It's online, but I log in and it's on all my devices, which is great. Love it. Love it. So I might create a storyboard and put that in there. And I do have an Apple iPad, and I do like to sketch things, stick figures and stuff on Procreate. So I might do some storyboarding on Procreate and then put it into Notion and then show you from there what it looks like. So that works. Okay, let's have a last listen. Thank you, Mark and Ashley, for joining me live today. Appreciate you doing that. If you haven't already, please give it a thumbs up and a like. And if you're watching the replay or you're lurking in the background and you haven't yet done so and you like this kind of stuff, subscribe and click the clicky bits below, and there's a bell, because who knows when I'll be streaming live, especially in Songtember. This is going to be roughly my usual time weekly going forward after Songtember. It's going to be 10 a.m. Western Standard Time here in Western Australia. So 10 a.m. for me. I was running a little bit late this morning just because the dentistry happened and I wasn't the best this morning. So I've been talking for an hour now. I need to give everything a rest. It's feeling a bit warm over here. I'm just like, I'll shut up now. The response from my family is usually, if only. So I'm going. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you're enjoying creating your own Songtember song. If you are doing so, Pete John Studio Live today, his link is in the description below if you want more information. I will play this one more time and we'll hear what it sounds like. And I will save again, because you only have to lose a big file like this once or twice and to discover that saving is your friend. And I'll see you next time. All right, thank you. On that happy note, let's have a listen. Alrighty then, let's do it.